Hello friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel Sync Ventures. Let's talk Microsoft 365. In this series, last week in Microsoft 365, I pick 5 topics which I like during the last week, and I talk about them and also highlight them in my Twitter and LinkedIn. So this has been a start of the year, and lots of new blogs are coming up from the bloggers around the world. So I have chosen 5 topics which I liked during the last week. So let's go through them one by one. So the first topic is use Microsoft Graph to query SharePoint items. As we know, and in my other YouTube videos also, I have talked a lot about Microsoft Graph, which is a great tool to gather or fetch data from different Microsoft 365 services like SharePoint, Teams, and others. In this, Markus is talking about how to get data from SharePoint, and he has also compared the traditional way of REST API with this. And he has also shown us how to get the data, like general things, list site, list items, expand and select, filter text, date, time, yes, no, lookup, manage meta, hyperlink. It's a great article where he has captured almost all the column times which we generally would like to have with us in when we are doing programming. And so you can see he has explained all the things in very detail. So I think it's a great article if you want to see how to get data from SharePoint actually using Microsoft Graph. Of course, you can use the traditional REST API or other ways of getting data from SharePoint, but I would say the Microsoft Graphs should be used more and more because I think Microsoft is focusing on this a lot in the future as well, and we will see a lot of traction around this area. And he had asked for suggestions on the Twitter, and I suggested him that he should write another article similar to this where we can post data and not only fetch the data. Hopefully he will write about it and we will able to see it also and read also. So the next is from Mika Berglund, and he's a great guy who has given a lot of stuff on the GitHub regarding Teams app, basically Teams app development. We know that the Teams apps can be developed through React framework using Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, and also no JavaScript frameworks and those and SPFX, So, but here he is using Blazor, that is ASP.NET Blazor concept to create Teams app. If you don't know about ASP.NET Core Blazor, you will have the link in the description of the video and you can get it from there. Basically, what we do generally is that we use JavaScript to create apps, so instead of that, we use rich UI using C# and not JavaScript, and we write the code, the server-side code in the .NET as well. And of course, the render of the UI will be done in HTML and CSS. So that's the concept. So I had this question like maybe year back, like why we cannot develop things using ASP.NET concept, and Blazor is the answer there. And what he has done is he has created a nugget package which you can easily get it and use that to build your Teams app using .NET. So if you are not familiar with JavaScript or you're not comfortable using JavaScript, this is one of the ways you can also develop Microsoft Teams apps actually. And he has, in this article and in previous articles, he has described in very detailed how to work with this and how to make it work. And I think you should try it out if you want to learn something new or want to try this out. And maybe I think a lot of companies who have developers who work with ASP.NET, they can switch to Teams development using this pretty easily. I'm going to try this on my own also once in coming weeks, and hopefully I can do a YouTube video also around that. So thanks, a lot of thanks goes to Mika Berglund, who has put a lot of effort in doing this. And you can look into his GitHub also, where he has the source code and everything available for you also if you want to have a look on that. Okay. So the next topic is there is a series called Microsoft Graph Mailbag going on right now, and a lot of great articles around that. If you want to look into that series, you can just go on this link. I can make it a bit bigger. And in this series, they are talking about the Microsoft Graph Toolkit. They had done earlier around also something called a lab around Microsoft Graph Toolkit, which I have also learned a lot from those series. And I'm going to go through all these series also in the mailbag. I wanted to highlight this particular block written by Sébastien. In this, we have the component mgt-get. Generally, the other components like the person card or the teams components, we get the required information like the calendar or the teams information. But the mgt-get is a special one because in this you can create your own UI, or basically you can, it's like a custom component in which you can get other informations as you want it and not in the predefined UI. So here is a small example. Here is saying mgt-get resource me, and then he's getting us the given name, surname, and your email address. Then also like list content of the messages. So you pass on like this, the scope, and then you just use the simple HTML thing to display the data, right? So advanced scenarios, how to debug. Like if you want to see the what kind of data you are getting, this component can be easily used to do that. You can just mgt-get any of the component, any of the information, and then you can decide how to display this data later, and also he has described the converting data scenarios here. Caching data, you can cache the information, and then you can use it later. And nesting components concept he has also described. So I think this is a great article which you can go through if you are using Microsoft Graph Toolkit. I think this component is one of the most important ones because in this you have the ability to do what you want to do with the data, or how you want to display with the data. Because here we are just getting the data as we want it, and the display part is up to us how we want to process it or display it. So yeah. Then the next is a YouTube video which talks about integrate with Microsoft 365 using emerging platform technologies. Basically, in this YouTube video, Beth and Sam Broner are showing the Microsoft Graph basics. What are the tools available for Microsoft Graph? And then we talk about, then they talk about actually how to use Fluid Framework, which has been recently launched, to create apps, So they have a code overview about it. And so if you look into the agenda, they have defined and described Microsoft Graph, then build your first Microsoft Graph powered app, and discovering Microsoft Graph powered apps also. And then they talk at the end about the Microsoft Fluid framework in detail also. So I think this is a great video if you want to learn about Microsoft Graph and the Fluid framework together. So you can have a look into this video. The last one is not directly related to Microsoft 365, but it is written by Vesa Nopanen, and he talks about how to do screen recordings like I'm doing right now. I'm creating a YouTube video, right? So I must be using a software to record the screen and also my input in the video, right? So how to do that? So he has given a lot of options which you can use, and this is a article which I think can be helpful for starters, who want to do YouTube videos or want to create training materials, small snippets to be put in their blog or those kind of things. So, of course, Microsoft Teams can be used, and this I have experienced also. It's pretty easy to do that. You just call a meeting with yourself, basically, and then just join the meeting, and then you start the meeting recording. And it has the video, so it will record what you are saying also. And of course, with the screen sharing, you can record the screen as well. The other is Snagit and Camtasia. Camtasia is a very powerful tool. It can do a lot of things. This is one of the preferred tools by a lot of people who do YouTube recordings, um, and a lot of other training material generations and those kind of things. Um, you need to, of course, buy a license for Camtasia. If you are going to be a professional YouTube blogger or a streamer or something, or generate high quality training materials, then I would suggest that Camtasia should be the go-to tool, which has great features. Of course, you need to have a license. Good old PowerPoint, which can also be used to record your screen, and it's pretty easy to use. I have tried it before also, and it works pretty fine for small recordings. Um, Microsoft Stream. This is something I was using before I started using my current tool. It can record 15 minutes of the video, and it is available as a Microsoft 65 service, as you know. So if you have Microsoft Stream, you can easily use it, and this is great for sharing small videos with other colleagues, or if you want to generate a small video to showcase to a customer, or how this app works, or how um, these features work. So this is a great also if you want to do it. Then OBS Studio, and this is something which I use right now. As I said before, I was using Microsoft Stream, and then the quality in the Microsoft Stream is not so great actually. So it's not HD quality, and that can be a problem if you want to upload it to YouTube. So I got some feedback on my initial YouTube videos that the clarity was not so great. So then I posted a tweet to get help from some of the experts, and Tomislav, actually, he's also an MVP. He actually suggested me to use OBS Studio, and this is the great part of this, is that it is free, and it has a lot of things which it supports. It's very high quality recording, so you can record it in very high quality. I would say that this is one of the best tools which is free actually to use, and it can do almost everything you can think about. But it's a very heavy software, so it needs good amount of computer power. And but if you are used to using these kind of tools, I would say that it is not so difficult to use it. Although I asked Tomislav again help with some understanding of the green screen, everything. I have not been able to buy it yet, but I'm planning to do it soon. So yeah, Recordcast, I have not used it before, but this should be added as a uh, add-on in your Chrome, and then will be able to. No, sorry, this can this can run on the Chrome, and then you can record it. I think it's pretty similar to the Stream actually, and some other tools. Xbox Game Bar, yeah, this is something I had used also before, but this is not. This will not record everything actually. Like if you have a PowerShell screen and you want to record it, it won't record. So it is very difficult to use it for professional purposes. Others I have not, but he has mentioned a lot of other tools. So if you want to try out any of those, but my recommendation is to use OBS Studio or Camtasia if you're going to buy a license, I would say. And for small things, you can use Microsoft Stream if you have it. That's a great tool to use it also. So yeah, that was it for today's 5 topics. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel Sync Ventures, and also follow me or connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, and I have a blog syncventures.com also, which you can follow. So yeah, thank you for today and have a great day.